Hey, and welcome back. In lesson 3 today, we are going to talk about how to expand your seed keywords. So you finally found some awesome seed keywords, and that is great. But what do you do with those? So today we're going to talk about how you turn those seed keywords into a couple of hundred profitable keywords that you can actually target on your site. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do that, but we're going to just talk about a few here today. And of course, it probably comes as no surprise that the number one tool that I use and recommend to expand your seed keywords and to find actual keywords that you're going to use is Longtail Pro. It really is one of the best ways that you can expand your seed keywords into hundreds, if not thousands, of great keywords that you can actually use on your site. It, of course, generates thousands of keywords from just a few seed keywords. It analyzes all the important data that you want to see for each keyword, and then it condenses everything into one easy metric that we're going to dive into here in just a little bit. But I'm going to walk through a few different live examples that we can look at for how to use Longtail Pro. So I do have everything here in a PowerPoint, that you can look at, how to start a campaign, but I want to actually open up the software. I think it'll be a little bit more interesting to walk through that live. So let me resize this so that you can see everything like so. Essentially, if you're not familiar with Longtail Pro, it's very easy. You just click over here, create a new campaign, and we'll call this one Longtail University. Create the project, and then you just click on the button to find your keywords. And what we're doing here, this is where you want to input the seed keywords from the last class that we just went over, all those different ways to brainstorm and find seed keywords. This is where you want to input those keywords. So we found things like hunting knife. I believe we did something like juicer versus blenders, and there's probably a few others. Instead of hunting knife, we can put survival knives, which is one that I've looked at before in the past. Maybe we'll just leave it there, but you could put up 10 or so seed keywords into one project, and you can organize your projects however you want to do that. If you happen to have a full list of keywords that you feel like you might want to target, you can input those into your own list up to 10,000 at once. And in this particular section for adding your own keywords, Longtail Pro will only generate the search volume, CPC, and other data for just those keywords. We'll dive into that in a little bit. But what is also great is that you can customize your data and pre-filter that. So let's say you only want to see keywords that have 100 or more search volume per month, and for whatever reason you want to max that out at 10,000 searches per month. You can do that. You can input a minimum bid. You can input advertiser competition. One that I like a lot actually is the number of words. So let's say that we only want to find the keywords that have 3 or more words within that keyword phrase. I can input that there. Then you just hit generate keywords, and of course Longtail Pro goes out and it does its thing. We'll give it just a minute here to run through and generate those keywords. Now, one particular feature that I neglected to show is that as you're inputting your seed keywords here, hunting knife, you can actually put some modifiers and footprints. If you want to see more keywords that include the word best, you can input that in the include box that's just below your seed keyword. Or if you want to exclude any particular keyword, whatever that may be, you can input that in the exclude box there. So that's a handy feature that you can use as well. Now, of course, when you're using modifiers, you want to click on a seed keyword and use that include or exclude results like I mentioned. If you're doing a product review site, you might include modifiers like best, top, and reviews. Third, you can use these to find keywords that most likely will align with your goals. And for that same site, you might exclude modifiers like for sale, buy, since those are most likely e-commerce keywords. Now I'm going to jump back over to our live example here in just a second, but first of all, there's these other filters and metrics that Longtail Pro displays, such as local search volume. Usually we want to look for keywords that have at least 2,000 or more search volume for primary keywords. And we'll dive into what primary keywords are, but this is going to be the article that you, or the keyword that you target primarily on your niche site, or for pillar articles that you have on your authority site. Somewhere between 50 and 2,000 search volume for secondary keywords. You also want to look at the ad competition, the advertiser competition. Higher is actually better. And remember, this is for advertisers. These are the results that are showing on the right-hand column in Google, people that are actually paying to be listed on those. This is not search engine competition. And then the number of words, again, long tail keywords don't have to have lots of words in them, but longer keywords tend to be lower competition, so you definitely want to experiment with this. And overall, you want to experiment with everything to find your optimal keywords. So let's go ahead and jump over to our live example again. So we can see the Longtail Pro has generated our results with our filters of at least 100 search volume per month and at least 3 words. And usually what I like to do is just quickly scan through here, and anything that I think looks good based on my experience, I'll click the Calculate KC button. And so maybe I need to expand that column. This is the average keyword competitiveness column that hopefully you can see there now. So best hunting knife, I can see right off the bat is probably going to be lower competition. Usually words that have, best in them tend to be good modifiers. So best hunting knife sharpener is maybe another good one. I'm again just skimming over this here very quickly. Best pocket knife is one that I'd at least want to look at. Best hunting knives. And let's see what else we got here. Cool pocket knives, that might be an interesting modifier with the word cool in there. And then, pocket knife brands. All of these could be potential keywords. And again, I'm going to dive in a future lesson what actually makes a super great keyword. But this is what you can do. So let's say that after looking at this, I decide that I only want to see keywords that include the word best. We have a great filter here. You just type in best, and all of a sudden, all of those great potential keywords, best juicer machine, best blenders for juicing, all of these things could be great affiliate type or comparison type keywords that you can be writing articles on just by doing that. So that still leaves us with, as I expand this so you can actually see everything, you can see that there's 76 keywords that met our filters that have the word best, have at least 100 minimum searches, and at least 3 words. Now, I know just again from experience that keywords that tend to have more words tend to be easier to rank for. So let's get aggressive here and put the number 5 in there. So now we only have 17 keywords that have at least 5 words in them. So something like best blender for the money is very potentially a good keyword. Again, all of this, I haven't even looked at the top 10 results in Google. I'm just filtering these out based on number of words. These are longer phrases that include the word best. So as you can see, Longtail Pro can be a great tool to help you expand your keyword list. Just from a few keywords, we ended up with 1,540 matches, and with some simple filtering, we already narrowed that down to 17 potential keywords. We could do the same thing if we're looking for more e-commerce based. We could put for sale in here. That didn't result in any, so I need to maybe be less restrictive on the number of words. you can see that 12 keywords have the word for sale in that. So if you're actually selling pocket knives or hunting knives, this could be a great way to get keywords that are great for your site. So as I come back over here to my official presentation, I basically showed you all of this, is that you don't know the niche very well, but you're just looking for some good primary and secondary keywords just as a preliminary search to see if you found a good niche or not. So you want to go through those steps there. And then, of course, the software is going to generate hundreds of keywords for you, as I already showed. Of course, you want to look for good matches that are either good buying keywords, affiliate keywords, or potentially viral keywords. All of these can be generated in Longtail Pro. And of course, when you find an interesting keyword like I did, you go ahead and click on it to see its data. And if you have Longtail Platinum, I should mention, is only when you can use that calculate button, that calculate KC button, to see how difficult the keyword is to actually rank for. That's just one metric that'll show you the competitiveness. If I come back over here to Longtail Pro, if you don't have the calculate KC button, you can actually just click on the keyword. That expands and will show you the top 10 results within Google there, which will then, of course, give you the data that you can look at as far as page authority, page links. And we're going to dive into all of this data in massive detail in the next couple of lessons. So I just wanted to show you briefly what you can do if you don't have that calculate KC button, if you don't have the Platinum version of Longtail Pro. So if we were diving deep into the best hunting knife sharpener, I would be clicking on that keyword and seeing that it only had an average keyword competitiveness of 24. And again, we'll dive deep into that in a future lesson. So let's say I like this keyword. Now what do? I definitely do like best hunting knife sharpener. It's a great secondary keyword because the search volume is a little bit lower. It's probably not going to be a primary keyword, but it has a lot of great data points. So what do you do with it now? Well, I'd probably just save it as a favorite. I can see that it gets 170 searches per month by clicking on that star. It's going to be saved into my favorite list, and then I can move on and find lots of other great keywords. So here's a list of a few that I put in my favorite list, just very briefly. And as you can see, I'm already combining a list that I can use to write articles on for my niche site. So for your money, really, Longtail Pro is going to be the most efficient way to expand your seed keywords into hundreds of profitable action keywords. It really is the tool that I created to meet my own needs, to start creating niche sites, to start finding lots of great keywords. So I built it specifically for this purpose, what I just showed you. However, saying that, there are some other ways that you can expand your keywords. And so I do want to show you those other ways just in case you don't have Longtail Pro. One free way to expand your seed keywords into actual usable keywords is to use the Google Keyword Planner tool. It's a great tool. It will help you generate lots of keywords. There's some pros to it. It's good. It has current data. There's lots and lots of keywords ideas, and you can see the search trends directly within the Google Keyword Planner. Some of the cons is that the tool is actually built for advertisers, not marketers and SEO. So for that reason, there is some drawback. It's specifically made for people that are wanting to advertise for these keywords. Second, there's no indication of ranking difficulty. And again, that's because the tool is built for advertisers, not for SEOs. The Google Keyword tool, Planner tool, is not built for people looking to see how easy it is to rank naturally within Google. And then finally, another con is that you can't modify or filter as easily in the keyword planner as you can within Longtail Pro. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at it here real quick. So if you want to take a look at it, you can just do a search for it, or there is this URL if you want to type that in directly. But basically, here's just a screenshot from it. You can drop in your seed keywords right there, and then just hit Get Ideas, and it will expand that list, give you lots of ideas, up to 800 results per seed keyword that you input. And you'll have to inspect these one by one. Again, there's no indication of the ranking difficulty, but it does give you the average monthly searches, the competition, and again, this is advertiser competition, just like we were showing over in Longtail Pro, and then the suggested advertiser bid that you can see there. Another cool feature of the Google Keyword Planner is that you actually can import a big list of keywords. Again, this will only generate data for that list of keywords. It won't expand it and generate up to 800 ideas for each of those on the list. It will only use that list. So if you have a big brainstorm, or you've used other competitor analysis tools, or maybe Ubersuggest or other places where you've gotten a big list of keywords, you can paste that in here, just like you can do in Longtail Pro though as well. Another great place is using Ubersuggest. It is a great tool to get endless ideas. The essential idea behind Ubersuggest is using that Google Instant. Just like I showed in the previous class, it takes your keyword and expands it using Google Instant primarily. So you just type in your seed keyword, you see what comes up, and you can do this for all of your best footprints. Some of the major drawbacks with lots of these free tools, including Ubersuggest, is that there's no indication of ranking difficulty. You'll have to inspect each of these one by one. And I will just say that, Ubersuggest doesn't expand into lots of the other ideas that the Google Keyword Planner recommends, and the Google Keyword Planner doesn't expand into a lot of the ideas that Ubersuggest might expand into. So there's some limitations and drawbacks of each of those tools. So let's jump over to Ubersuggest actually to show a live example to see what we can do with those keywords. So if I pull that up right here, and again, let me change the size of my window, or actually I think you can see everything there. I typed in best hunting already and hit suggest. It pulled up, it looks like 370 suggestions that are found. You can go through here one by one and sort of add these to your list that you can export. But even better is you can click this select all keywords button. That will add all of the keywords, and then what I like to do is click the Get button to essentially export those, so I can copy and paste them anywhere that I want to do. And what I would recommend is to copy and paste those either into the Google Keyword Planner or over into Longtail Pro to see what sort of search volume each of these keywords have, to see if they're worth targeting. So if I pull up Longtail Pro and let's just do Longtail University number 2 and find keywords, here's where I'm going to add my own keywords. I just paste in that list and hit search or generate keywords. And so again, that's going to just go over and do its thing. And so that's now brought back the results, and now I have all of the data on those keywords. I can either sort these by high search volume or low search volume. If I only want to see things that have high advertiser competition, I can do that. But there's, I can already see there's going to be some great keywords here. Best hunting backpack, best hunting rangefinder, all sorts of things that maybe I wouldn't have thought of right off the bat, or had been able to generate just strictly from my own seed keywords. And of course, you can do lots of things in here as well. I can see the number of words column isn't here, and I want to see that. So I'll just click on this little blue button, check that box for number of words, and I only want to see keywords that have 4. Let's say, let's go even higher, 6. So there you go. Best hunting knife for the money, best hunting jacket for the money. Great keywords, but that's how you can use Ubersuggest to find lots of keywords using, again, Google Suggestions, and then taking that over here to Longtail Pro and seeing what you can do with that. So I think it's a great kind of 1-2 punch, taking your seed keyword ideas, and of course you could do this over and over again to get lots and lots of keyword ideas. So again, this shows what we already did, but kind of the highlight here is to be able to hit this select all keywords and then export those in Ubersuggest if you'd like to do that. Now, you can also use Google's related searches. This is another great place to uncover keywords that maybe you wouldn't have come up with on your own. Basically, you just type your seed keywords into Google. Then you look down at the bottom of the results. This is the bottom of the page, and maybe I should show you this live so it makes a little more sense. But most of the time, these should be very easy to use for your site. So in this particular example, we typed in best hunting knife, and these are some of the results that we had. A few of these very easily could be used on your website. So again, to look at the Google suggested or the Google related searches, you type in your seed keywords that you found in your previous efforts. So let's put here best hunting GPS, and you get your standard results here, but down at the bottom you get searches related to best hunting GPS. So Garmin GPS, best hunting GPS years, and these are some old years, so you'd probably want to put 2015 or 2016 as it gets towards the end of the year. But best hunting GPS app, some great suggestions. So just a few ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of previously. You should definitely look here because these are typically very much related to what you're already writing about, especially if you already have a site. You should be using this to look at related articles that Google is going to think, okay, this website probably should be writing about this topic. If they're writing about hunting and best hunting knives and best hunting GPSs, they should be including terms that we're suggesting here. So hopefully that's another great tip that you can utilize. Another tool that you can use to help you expand your seed keyword lists is SEMrush. Now, there's some pros and cons again to this. The pros is that you can indeed view cost per click trends, and you can see the distribution by country and a couple other cool graphs and trends there. You can also view both phrase matches and related keywords. The cons is that there, again, is no indicator of ranking difficulty. You can't use include and exclude modifiers like you can in some of the other tools. And you can only search for one keyword at a time. And then, of course, SEMrush is a paid tool, and so it does cost $70 per month. It isn't free like a couple of the other things that we showed here. If you do happen to have SEMrush, you can jump in here and input your seed keyword like we've done with hunting knife, and then once you do that, it's going to pull up all of the information that it has about hunting knife. So it'll show the exact keyword there and show your search volume of 4,400, the cost per click and that sort of thing, but it does show related keywords. So as you can see here, Cutco hunting knife set, best hunting knife, those sort of things. And so it doesn't give quite as many related keywords and keyword results, but it is a tool that if you have, can give you keyword suggestions to help expand your seed keyword list. And so you will get a huge list of keywords that you can analyze here within SEMrush. And phrase match, these are keywords with your exact match keyword in them somewhere. It might have additional keywords before or after. Then related keywords, those have similar, or those are similar to your seed keyword. Just remember that you'll have to analyze these one at a time. Now remember, those are just a few of the tools. There are some other ways that you can expand your seed keyword list, but to be honest, this is what I use and is more than enough to help you find all the different types of keywords that you need to be using. So there's lots of tools. I use a combination of those. If I only had one tool, it really would be Longtail Pro, because it was built specifically to do such a thing. But coming up next, we're going to show what the criteria of a winning keyword is. So stay tuned for that next lesson, because we're really diving into the meat of how do you pick that winning keyword to finally go out and create some content on. So stay tuned for the next couple of lessons. Thanks a lot.